Hey guys, Melissa here with the Mango Express. Today's adventure carries us to Columbus, Mississippi to the race shop of the Rickmans. We are headed out to measure all the guys for new velocity fire suits. So stay tuned, this should be highly entertaining. So,
yeah,
we are in the car with myself and Mingo and Flying Brian Rickman. And we have measured all the Rickmans for fire suits today. And now we are headed to grab a bite to eat. I don't gotta measure you. I just gotta design yours. You got measured by the best. Didn't Brad measure you at PRI?
No, that was good.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought Bad Brad did.
No, they got one girl.
Not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure I was wrong. You have a lighter, Brian? Pretty sure mine is laying in the shop floor.
You shouldn't be smoking, kids.
I'm not smoking. Stick a sock in it. Yeah. Brian's house. It's the neighbors on the other side that hate the goats, right? It's the neighbors on the other side of the shop that hate the fucking goats. The goats.
Yeah, I ain't got to. Tell us a story about the goats eating the landscape or whatever the hell happened that day.
How the GFP came to be.
Oh, that kind of started over, kind of a joke. Eddie had about 400 goats.
400?
400 goats.
Okay.
I can see Eddie doing that.
We got to be friends with Kurt Smith, Jacob Sutton and all them. They had like 4 or 5 goats. They got into that two-man cruiser deal, and they started, that was their little deal, GLP, the Posse deal, sort of deal. And we got to be friends with Kurt and them, and it just kind of rolled off. They found out we had that many goats, and we kind of rolled that over to our headquarters to be the GLP deal. That's how it kind of all started.
And then the goats ate the neighbor's landscape, right?
That was our, yeah. They put these flowers up and stuff. Basically, they was over cleaning off on our land. They didn't know where they was cleaning off at, so they knocked the fence down. So the goats got in their yard. And they ate up the one with all our brand new rose petals and all that. Nice little head out. And her and Daddy had a big fight argument. Basically, Daddy had to pay for our roses, and Daddy tried to make her pay for his fence. So by then we done got down to about 10, and he ended up selling them off, and then I ended up getting about, started out with 2 and ended up with 15. They like rabbits.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting rid of them because they would run all over the neighborhood and stuff too. I couldn't keep them in the fence.
So that was the neighbor that come over there and said something about everybody always being over there, and then all the goats. It's just like a posse of people. So that's where the GFP actually got named.
No, it really got named off the goats. Off of Kurt and them having goats at their house. You know, it's the way I understand it. And like I said, Kurt and them got to be good friends with us, and you know, we just kind of added it to our program too.
To see people, when you're buying GFP merchandise, now you know.
Now you know why.
Why the hell it's named what it's named.
Yeah.
So we really did have goats.
Yeah. I didn't know you had 400. I remember goats, but I didn't. There wasn't 400 when I started coming.
Well, yeah, I might have been 400. I know it was like 200. I know we had over 200.
Well, damn, now your math's getting off, man.
I know. Man, we had. I mean, it was like a big farm. I mean,
it?
Goats and more goats, some high price goats. We got into it. They were going eggs all over the place with eggs.
Oh, Fast Lew.
We sell them anywhere between $25 and $30. Meat goats.
Right. Right.
The village we had, they was like 250 pound goats.
That's a big goat. That's a big damn
I
goat.
could ride it.
Why do
Yeah,
I know?
but I
You have
mean, like-
tested this out. You
but-
rode the goat before.
Oh yeah.
Well, like, you had mud busting like as a kid. You go rodeo, they have like mud busting as a
I wish
kid.
I could find that video y'all can put on there with Brady riding that goat. I couldn't find it.
Oh, I've seen that.
But I
that
mean,
was pretty
to
cool.
be
That was
fair,
pretty
like,
great.
I mean, you probably wasn't 120 pounds though.
Probably. Not much more now than that.
So, you a damn liar. You swelling up in the middle of your old age.
So is Fast Lew coming to eat with us?
Yeah.
Yay. Mr. Eddie's my boyfriend on the side. I tell my husband if I'm ever leaving him, I'm leaving him for Fast Lewis.
This is fact.
Lou's my boyfriend.
Joke's on you. He's old and poor now.
I don't know. He told Brian at Magnolia last time we were down there, everything he had, he was leaving to me. Him and Rick was shut out of luck.
You're gonna get a bunch of scrap metal.
He getting jumped.
So Bronny was cutting him out of the wheel.
You're getting a bunch of scrap metal and a hacked up street stock.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want the old international pickup truck. Whose is that?
That's hard.
That thing is fantastic.
I mean, he put that, well, it's really, he bought it about 20 years ago.
I need that parked in my front yard underneath the big oak tree.
And we drug it out. We put disc brakes on the front. It's a original motor. It's a original truck. 55 international.
It's freaking spectacular.
We think we got it traded for a Nissan or Toyota Nissan Pathfinder or something like that.
Why?
I need that truck.
Well, if you had a Nissan Pathfinder, apparently you
Oh, hell
can get over.
I have a
4Runner.
Well, that's what it is. Toyota 4Runner.
I have a Corvette.
Not trading Corvette for the international.
Oh, come on. I don't even drive the damn thing. Every time I get it out, I raise all kinds of hell, and then my husband won't let me drive it for 6 damn months.
Where am I going? Straight?
Yeah, go straight on.
We're going in the hood. We're going in the hood.
We go into the hood in Columbus.
You know,
we won't never make that one.
Ghetto.
you can probably cut it off. You can have it.
Okay. Formal introductions. We got Rick Rickman, Shay Knight, my jackass husband. We got Brian running around back here. Some mouthful. We're doing formal introductions.
Al Johnson. Hard to film with your mouth full. I don't know what it's full of, but it's full.
Nerds, would you like some?
No thanks.
We wanted to find Fast Lew.
He's back here in the man cave. That way.
We got Brian.
Take Brian to show you where he's at.
I'm going to bring him cigarettes. I might need those.
Oh yeah.
Stay in the chair. We're headed to... Oh, we thought we were headed to Fast Lewis's man cave. We're actually headed out here to the truck. Lewis? Mr. Eddie. I need to get you to tell me some stories here.
Uh-oh.
So we're gonna put you on the YouTube channel.
Oh, Lord. You might want to go sit down.
You may want to go sit down.
Yeah, you're going to have to go sit down.
I don't know. What do you want to hear?
What do we need Lewis to tell us about? The $1 million race?
You want to start how you started out, or you want to start how you...
Yeah,
Something I can remember.
something you can remember.
Something I can remember.
Okay.
How you started out. How about, let's start out with there, and then we'll skip for 20 years, 40 years.
Okay. So, tell us how you got started, Lewis.
How I got started. My brother-in-law back in 1965 and a good friend of mine, Herschel Perry, he's dead and gone now. We bought a 1958 Chevrolet race car and raced it 3 or 4 times. Herschel being the oldest, he had to drive it, and he crashed it 3 or 4 times. We wound up settling it for junk, scrap. We give $90 for it, race ready.
$90.
$90. All right.
Wow.
Then we got, I fooled around. I had a good friend of mine. We ran together, rode motorcycles. We went everywhere on motorcycles. And his uncle raced them mods, like the 38 coupes and mods and stuff out here at Columbus. We went out there one Sunday and watched them. And about 3 years later, 2 years later, I guess, I bought a car about 40 miles from here, a 56 Ford. Went over and towed it home with a tow hitch and started taking it apart. Mother wanted to know what that junk doing in the backyard, and I thought it was gonna be my race car. She said, well, you ain't gonna drive it. You're not gonna drive it. So we started tearing it apart. I got it ready to go and carried it out to one of the fabricators by the brickyard, and Daddy put a roll cage in it, or had a roll cage put in it. And lo and behold, one of the guys that put it in there, he's a good friend of mine to this day. And I didn't know he put it in there 20 years later, that he's the one that put the roll cage in there. So I fooled around and I traded a 38 Ford coupe that I had, a 38 Ford coupe that I had, for a motor to go in it. And here it is.
Oh, there's the first one.
There's the first one. I raced it 3 years, turned it over twice, and you see it?
Yeah.
Turned it over twice, and then I upgraded later. But so I guess that's how I got started. I think my first race, it didn't have but one class in '68, and I think it was 35 cars or so started.
Wow.
And I think I run 8. The first one I ever raced in. So that's what got me started.
So that's how the 68 came to be, because that's when you started.
That's how all our numbers come to be. That's the year we started racing. But I graduated in '68. I got married in '68. I started racing in '68.
Well, that was a big old year.
Had a hell of a time.
So then, fast forward how many years into racing when you made the $1 Million Show?
It was 2001, maybe, something like that.
So
I've been racing 32 years.
32 years.
When I made the million. And I don't know how many feature wins I got. I lost
hundreds
count.
and hundreds.
I lost count several hundred.
Made the World Dirt Track Championship, made the World Dirt Track Championship in the open wheels, made the million, made the World 100.
I didn't travel as much as I should have. I would have a trucking company and I had to stay and run it. Most of the time we'd go off. Al's been helping me for many years. He's Brian's crew chief now.
Yeah, Al's been with you almost your whole racing career, hasn't he?
He's my first cousin. So yeah,
Okay.
we used to play together at my grandma's. But yeah, he started helping, I'm gonna say 10 or 12 years on.
It was
Mid 80s, maybe, when he started.
I wasn't racing yet when he started helping.
Yeah,
You
he got
started in
married.
90.
He got married, settled down, so he started helping me. And we raced a lot of different places, been to a lot of racetracks.
It's pretty fascinating. And then it's carried on now to both of your sons and 2 grandsons.
Yeah.
Three.
3 grandsons.
Oh, 3 grandsons racing.
Well,
So
my 2 youngest ones, they're 13 and 14 and 15, and They're doing go-karts right
Yeah, the oldest grandson's running a late model, crate late model.
Crate.
And then Brady and Carson are both into karting now,
Right.
as of this year.
Yeah, they've won several races in that, so
They gonna carry
good.
on the
They're
tradition.
pretty good. I think this is next year will be my 54th year.
Wow. I saw Carson when I was measuring Carson for his karting jacket. I saw he was carrying on the 68.
Yeah, he got a go-kart dressed up like my street stock. I drive street stock now just
The hell of it.
to keep my reflexes up, I guess.
So, are you gonna pull a red farmer on me and not tell me how old you are? Or are you gonna actually give us your age?
Well, you ought to do the math. If I started at 18 and I graduated in 68, I had to be 18 or so. And I was born in 1950. That's an even round number. You can't figure that. You need to go back to school.
71. Fixing to be going on 72 this year.
Yeah, in 5 more months.
5 more months. So, I told you in my previous video, headed to dinner, that Fast Lew here is my boyfriend. So, I tell my husband all the time, if I'm ever leaving him, I'm leaving him for Lew.
And this is gonna be her inheritance.
The bus. I love the freaking the tour bus. Come on now. It's fun.
I just make sure.
This goes away.
I make sure you do it.
So I tell my husband all the time, if I'm leaving him for Lewis. I'm pretty sure I have completely convinced him of that in the last 9 years, that my boyfriend on the side is Eddie Rickman. So me and Eddie carry on a good bit every time I get to see him. My very first race ever was at Magnolia. That was in February. What race was that was in February? It was so damn cold. I can't remember which race it was, but this was about 9 years ago at this point. And it was the first time I had ever met Eddie.
Hey, I think that was helping me, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was helping. My husband was down there helping Brian. He was crewing for him for a big race. And so I'm hanging out with the rest of the Rickmans during this race. And it's the first time I've ever met Eddie, ever. So his introduction to me was chasing me with the infamous Magnolia foot-long corn dogs. He had ate his corn dog. He's chasing me with a corn dog stick, trying to stick it up my ass.
Ah, that ain't right.
It's true, wasn't it, Brian?
I don't know.
So,
No comment.
Eddie has been my friend ever since. Mr. Eddie is probably my favorite person in this entire world. So, that's why I tell my husband he's my boyfriend.
Hey, you call him all the time for information.
I do. Every time Eddie's driving the truck, he drives 18-wheeler occasionally, and he'll come up my way. He'll call and ask if my old man's at home. I tell him no. He's like, well, come out here and meet me at the road. I'm gonna come by and get me a hug. So they're real good friends of ours. At this point, they are family to us. They've been family to my husband for 16 years. They kind of took me in 9 or 10 years ago when I come to the dirt track world, and so they have absolutely just been family.
I proved W Flamingo. I didn't prove it.
None of the other ones. I was the only one got approval. Well, at least I share your wife's name, so it's not too confusing. Yeah.
What makes y'all crazy as hell?
It's in the name.
Nope. You didn't answer that.
The crazy's in the name. Trust me, I own my crazy. So,
You ever think anything about me? About what happened?
no, we just kind of went through the racing history. So, Brian says we got to go back and talk about the million. What actually happened at the $1 million race?
Well, I timed, I think, somewhere along in the, somewhere around, I don't even remember.
You hit the
Too far
invert right.
back. I was started on the front row, so I had top started somewhere in the 35 or 6 or 14 or 18 or 20 or something, I think, like the 5th heat. And I was fighting for the lead the whole race till the last white flag. I took the white flag, my motor blew a piston, and Moyer passed me for 3rd.
Well, damn.
It took him a lap to catch us. That we was gone. First or second was gone. And I had a good run. I felt like I probably wouldn't have won the million, but I had a shot to run at least at it.
Right.
5 or 10 anyway. That's one of the best runs I had up there. But I was in the world a couple times, and the dream once, I think. Anyway, I enjoyed going up there when you get on the wall anyway, so they run around the bottom now. It's not as exciting.
Catfishing.
Yeah.
The pond down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never got to go to Eldora so far. I'm sure at some point my husband will drag me out there.
It's just been real happening, and it still is. We used to go, and you got the hot lap, 3 laps, and then you qualified twice, 1 lap, and then you raced, and you didn't get no hot laps. And then a year or 2 after I started going, they started doing the non-qualifying races, so the one that didn't make the top 120 at least got to race some kind of heat race or something to get some experience.
Right.
And now they race all week, so I mean, you know, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to get some laps and you know, get in the show where occasionally now.
At least say, you know, I went up there and raced in a heat race or something.
Yeah. But and I have went up there and didn't make the 120, you know, but I think it's 275 cars into me, and I think I started 16th, but that I should have started probably somewhere around 7th, 8th, or 9th, or in the top 10 anyway, if I hadn't broke a piston.
Wow, but 270 something cars, and you get in the top 20 is impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty spectacular. So, very interesting.
I've had some good runs. I've had a lot of good races. Been to a lot of different racetracks. At one time back when I started, I probably, my top 15 years I raced, I guess there was probably, I counted them a few weeks ago. There was at least 20 racetracks around here within 60 miles.
Dang. And
I mean,
now
they was everywhere. They're like anthills.
And now we're down to just the 2 within a 60-mile radius. Just got Magnolia and Old Columbus.
Yeah, and then, I mean, if you go out to 90 miles, you go to North Alabama and Meridian, you've added another probably 10 or 12 tracks, so,
Yeah.
you know, but
How far's Jackson from here?
Jackson's 150 miles or so, Greenville's about 160 miles.
Actually, I haven't been to Greenville. I've been to Jackson, Meridian.
But they racetracks. Now you still see the remains of some of them. There used to be one they call Capitol Hill, just about a half mile from here. The boy got killed. Matter of fact, Kelly, the boy he was a teenager, got killed. A car come off one of them old B-mods or something, hit him and killed him. And matter of fact, the property I own now. He lived right here on the same property that I own now.
Bought it from a parent.
That was back in the 50s.
Well. Let's see what the cat drug in. What's up? My buddy Kurt.
Yeah, you can show him my getaway.
Your getaway?
Yeah, our getaway means you're going to get on and get away.
The motorcycle? No. We got to take the 2-seater late model. That's the getaway car. That's the 2-seater late model.
It's stolen right now.
Stolen?
It's stolen.
Somebody stole it.
Somebody stole it first of the year while I was in
Arizona.
I was
talking
in
The 2-seater.
the hospital with my wife.
Oh, I will go kick somebody's ass.
No, I was in Arizona or something. They stole it while I went to Arizona to help stolen. We worked the racetrack out there. And they stole it while I was gone, but I found it. I know where it is.
Do I need to go whoop somebody's ass?
Let's just say it's being refurbished.
Oh, okay. So it can be the getaway car at some point when we run away.
I had to take the motor out of my street so I couldn't get it. Yeah.
But he don't know who got it. Who got it, Luke?
I ain't gonna tell you who got it.
I already know.
He'll tell you who got it.
already know.
He'll tell you who got it.
Everybody
I know
knew
who got it.
It took him It took him 6 months before he realized it was gone.
Yeah, it took me about 3 months, sure enough.
No, about 6.
Well, all this junk I got around here, it was in the bushes.
Really? He goes, we're gonna get that car ready over here and ready.
What car? That car ain't there.
I ain't gonna say exactly what he said, but
And I'd
it was
pointed
good
to it a
words.
month or two before that.
And it was there.
No, he walked right by it. We're standing over by it.
Somebody talked to me about buying it, and I went out there and looked at it. So it wasn't.
Yeah,
Matter of
was
fact, I told the kids right before.
Because I told Rick and them, I said, he's gonna realize that damn car's gone. And he walked all around it over looking for a transmission or something, somebody. And I said, he didn't know it was gone. And then
I knew it wasn't stole too bad because there was no tracks, no drag marks. They didn't slide it nowhere. They went out there with a forklift and picked it up. And there ain't very many people around here can drive a forklift.
and I was in Arizona too.
Not our forklift.
So you didn't have anything to do with this?
No, I didn't know it was gone until I realized I noticed it before, way before he did. I got
Where the hell's the car?
No. Then they kept us on the. We kept it away from him, and
That's
it was pretty cool. Like I said, he was sitting on the back of the trailer talking to my boy and Rick's boy, and we're gonna get that car going and let y'all drive. I'm gonna ride with you. And then he went, "Where's my car?" And went out there looking for it. Well, it drove him crazy for a good month.
Here come my other son.
Okay. Just tell Charlotte to holler at me next week and we'll settle up.
Tomorrow.
Anybody need some nerves?
No, we got one sitting on the table.
Shut the fuck up.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
fixing to beat up my stepson over here.
Go ahead.
I don't want to break the camera.
Trust me, we don't have my face on it today. We're good. Where's Hunter at?
Better be home taking a Christmas tree down.
You gotta wait till that's first.
No.
Bad luck
It
to take
needs
it
to
out.
come
It is bad luck.
It needs to come down on Christmas Day.
That's bad luck.
Who did your concrete?
Mate,
How much was it a yard?
Steve, huh?
How much was it a yard?
Those been for 6,500. I furnished the wire and some stuff, so all the plastic and everything. He done a good job.
So Lou's getaway that he's talking about, the motorcycle over here. But I still vote the two-seater when we get the two-seater back. So,
You don't ride a matter.
no. 58%. We go back to Lou. 'Cause Lou's my favorite person ever.
What kind of good stories you got, Roman?
Yep, come on, tell us stories. This is going on the Mingo Express channel. So, yeah, come on now. You've been racing too many years not have any stories for me.
Man, I really ain't got one.
No shenanigans you got into with my husband.
Most time Kurt comes by, used to a little bit, but he got busy working at a new place in Blondale.
Yeah.
But he come by every day and get a lesson of the day.
Yeah.
Well, I was excited to get to interview Mr. Eddie. Mr. Eddie, my favorite person ever in the whole world.
Well, he got a lot more of that. That's just even just a one page of his history of
Just a little bit.
that ain't even
A fraction
not even
of
that.
his information and stories and
Yeah, the one everybody knows about is knocking the light pole down in Columbus. I'm well known for that.
what? Okay, tell me about this because this must have been years before I was in the picture.
Oh yeah, it was way back then. I think it's my first bullet I had, so that had to be in '86 or so, maybe. Well, yeah, I climbed the wall, hit the light pole, knocked the lights out, sent everybody home. took the guardrail out in Meridian, and it come all the way through the car.
Oh gosh.
Right front, through the drive shaft, through the frame, and out the left rear tire. And they had to cut it off. And I brought it home inside the car.
Inside the car.
They couldn't get it pulled off the guardrail, so they took a torch and cut the guardrail off. I kept it.
Just brought it in with a car.
I never unloaded the car. I kept it in the shop about a week. Some boy come by and said, "What are you gonna do with it?" I said, "I'm gonna carry it to the scrapyard, I guess." He said, "Well, I'll buy it." So he bought it, used my trailer, carried it home, and I guess it's 20 years ago. What, 20 years? Maybe longer than that. I'm gonna say probably 10 years ago, he called me and wanted to know that I want that guardrail. So he was hauling it off the scrap.
Yeah.
Should have got it, but I told him no. So it went to the junk pile.
Yeah, I did not know about that story.
The car wind up coming back home because he wound up selling it and Rick bought it and drove it for a little while. And then we got rid of it. It was a Shaw.
So what y'all's plans for this year? Brian running comp cams again this
I
year?
have no idea. I'll put my mind on it. I don't know. They don't tell me nothing.
We're just along for the ride.
I just hear. I just show up and do my little thing in my little
Stock car. And
shop and do what I want to do. I'm retired. I ain't drove a truck in 3 years. In February, I miss it, but I'm not going back to it.
no.
And Roof Mart. Free advertisement here. So I just gonna being retired, retarded, whatever. I'm gonna I do what I want to, when I want to, as long as I want to, if I want to.
That's right.
And that's what I do, as long as I can wake up every morning.
That's right. Right side of the dirt. Still watering the flowers instead of pushing them up.
Yep. I mean, me and my wife, we had a couple, 2 years, last month, I guess, month before last. I had 6 bypasses, I had colon cancer, and I had COVID. And she had 2 strokes. So, we ought to be good to go now.
We're just gonna rock on for a little while. How is Miss Betty doing?
She's doing good.
Good.
She's doing good.
I haven't got to see her in a while, obviously. For those that don't go to Columbus, or this is where they race at most of the time, unless they're on the road
She's
traveling.
the BJ on everybody's car.
Yep. Yep.
It's usually on the back spoiler. It's got BJ. That's the boy's mama.
So Miss Betty doesn't frequent the racetrack near like she used to anymore. She's just not able. So Miss Betty is equally as much a character as Mr. Eddie is. Miss Betty has a good time too. So
She didn't miss a race,
no.
except when she was in the hospital having them 2 boys. And I went to the racetrack both nights then, but I stuck back in the hospital because back then you couldn't stay in a room with the babies. They kept them all isolated. You had to leave when the babies come in, but I jimmied the doors on the outside and go up the back steps so I could get in after midnight and see her. So
She didn't threaten to kill you for not being there when they were born?
she told me to. I mean, I was gonna have to leave anyway.
Yeah.
And they both born on Fridays, so
I'm pretty sure Jason has a similar story. I think he was actually racing and got rained out. And he got home probably about 2 a.m. and got laid down in the bed when Michelle woke him up and said, pretty sure my water just broke. We got to go. So said he had to get right back up and go to the hospital. And he said if they wouldn't have rained out, he wouldn't have been there when Kylie was born. So I think that's probably just a pretty normal way of life in the racing world.
I was there when they were born. They just, like I said, they run you out at 9 o'clock anyway. You couldn't stay in the hospital no way. They run you out. You couldn't see the babies up through the window. So I checked on them.
Checked on her and back to the racetrack.
Checked on her after races. And I don't even think you could call in after 10 o'clock. You couldn't even call the phone. That's why I fixed the doors where I could go in and out.
That's funny. Oh. And then we have the whole rest of the Rickman bunch that continues to race. Mr. Eddie races this factory stock or street stock, and Brian and Rick both drive super late models, and Trey runs a crate late model, and Carson and Brady are both running the karting now. So we've got the whole bunch is at the racetrack week in, week out together. Still very much a daily part of their lives. So they kind of eat, sleep, and breathe it like we do. This is all we know.
A lot of people want to know, why you do that? That takes a lot of money. Well, yeah, I raced a lot, but so does hunting, so does golfing, so does motorboating on the river.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
so
anything you do, if it's fun, it's going to cost you some money.
And if you do it right, it's going to cost you money.
Right.
So, you know, and that's, my daddy didn't race, all he did was work. He piddled with style mechanicing a little bit, but he never was into it like I was. Matter of fact, after I graduated from college, I was a mechanic on all the trucks and worked on those all hours of the day and night, and then wound up running it. I took it over, I think, in about 86, and that's one reason I couldn't travel no more than I did. Always something going on with truck drivers.
Yep. I grew up in that life. My daddy was a trucker.
Well, we worked for that company for 70 years.
Wow.
We quit about 5 years ago. Time to move on. Everything don't last forever.
That's right. All good things must come to an end. So, yeah, I grew up around the trucking world. My daddy was a long haul trucker, so that's really about all I've ever known my whole life. And then I ran a trucking company for a few years myself. It's fun, but it's also an adult male daycare center.
It's a daycare for grown-ups.
Yes, it is.
It's a daycare for
yes,
grown-ups.
it is.
And I ain't gonna say a whole lot, because I know there's a lot of racers and truck drivers, a lot of trucking
Sponsors racing, absolutely, absolutely.
And you know, everybody always says, "Boy, you spend a lot of money in diesel fuel going back and forth to racing." I said, "Well, no, not really. You know, back then diesel fuel was, when they was hauling all that, was what, but 95 cents, 90 cents, 80 cents.
Yeah, you know, wasn't all that
75
expensive
and a
then.
dollar. I said, well, my fuel bill's $2,500 a week. Surely I can steal $150 from it somewhere. You know.
Just pad that in somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it'll come out of the wash somewhere.
That's right. No, I guess my biggest thing, with us, our kid goes with us too, so we race together as a family. We're always together. So I guess that's probably my favorite part. I mean, aside from the people that I get to meet and all the cool characters you run into, but I'm always with my family. Whether we're down here racing with y'all and y'all are family, but we all just gotta do it together. And
well, you know, back like everybody said, why you do that? Well, I see my two boys and grandkids all the time. You know, a lot of times every day. You know, sometimes I probably never go over a week without seeing.
At least some of them.
At least some of them. One or two of them might be gone on vacation or gone a week or so. But, and I've got friends that got kids and they see them once a year maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So, some of them don't see them but once every 2 or 3 years. You know, they live way off. So I'm fortunate on that, and all the money we've spent racing and whatever, been well worth it.
Yeah, it's kept the whole bunch out of probably a lot of trouble they would have found otherwise.
I could be sitting on millions in the bank and watching the 6 o'clock news and going to bed after the 10 o'clock news and, you know, bitching about going to supper on Friday night somewhere. What fun would that be?
No, hell no, the racetrack's a lot more fun.
Every bit of it. Eating dirt and digging dirty boogers out of your nose.
No, yeah. Getting sand blasted at freaking Magnolia.
Scratching your hair and falling out of it. I mean, you know, what's any better than that?
No, nothing. I mean, we get to do it with all our friends and family. We get to have a big time. Sometimes there's some dramatics and we end up having to, you know, chasing people out of the pits with a jack handle, but it just be like that sometimes. So definitely good times. Some of my best times in the last 10 years has involved a racetrack, and then at times some of my worst times in the last 10 years spent at a racetrack too. But for the most part, we have a pretty good time. Fun. We get to hang out with our peoples, and at least we're all together, doing it all together and hanging out together, and that's what makes it to me. So, all right, well, we're gonna let Mr. Eddie get back to working on his truck before he runs out of daylight down here, and we're gonna get back to North Alabama. So thanks for tuning in. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the Mingo Express. We got Shay Knight's little boys out here, and they are, you know, being typical goat farm posse kids, racing something. It doesn't even matter what they race, they are always racing something. So here we are. We're gonna watch them for a few more laps. 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go. You better get him. One to go. Oh, we have a winner. We have a winner. Close second.
My name's Braxton Knight. My name's Braxton Knight.
Jace.
What is
Braxton and Jace Knight.
I want to see it. I want to see the video.